people, everyday young people, are disconnected somewhere in the hood, and that's where they found.
Up to here with the promises that have never been met, not even one.
Education is like a lift. It will get you from point A to B, but it won't open the door for you. I think now it is based on who do you know.
Elections are right on our doorstep, with old parties making new promises, while new parties emerge on the stage and make different promises, with some tension between parties.
Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Whatever the election outcome is, my channel remains the same, and its goal: focus on the South African youth. Sit down with me, my peers, as I gather vast, young political people from all different parties, specifically to address and discuss youth-centric issues that current South Africans are facing, from social media, mental health issues, the education system, and for the first episode, season 1 of this channel, the youth unemployment rate. Let us begin.
Molweni, Kamalam I was born and bred in Mount Fletcher, Mhabatsana. I am a VETS law student, and I'm the current chairperson of the VETS Super Branch.
Revolutionary greetings to all progressive forces, commissars, ground forces, and fighters of the EFF and the EFF Student Command. My name is Balon Majola, currently enrolled for LLB here at the University of the Witwatersrand. I'm the member of the CSCT in the Student Command.
It's a very easy thing to do. I mean, we have TVET colleges, and through TVET colleges, you're going to be able to address that. Those who do not have matric need to be able to go and apply in TVET colleges, and in that way, they're going to be able to get skills, and they can become carpenters, they can become farmers, because we have TVET colleges that deal with agriculture. So that's the basic thing we need to do. And the youth needs to know that, and understand that outside getting a job, you can be an entrepreneur. And that is why the NC government has been working through CETAs to ensure that people are getting funding to fund their businesses.
How many of our people are funded by CETA? That's a question I throw.
I don't, maybe had I got the stats, but I don't have the stats currently. But I think a lot of people are beneficiaries of the CETAs. I quite know a number of people personally who are beneficiaries from CETAs who are funded.
I think we have to dive deep on this one. We have to make it clear that the EFF is a socialist organization that is willing to give all the power to the state, because the state has enough capacity to resolve all this problem. The EFF needs to, because the EFF will take government just after the 29th of May. So the programs that we'll implement is to subsidize the skill development projects that are currently existing, and to ensure that we provide much more regulators that are run by the state in the faculties that we have in the university. Like, for instance, we have the South African Institute for Chartered Accountants, which are regulating the commerce sector.
It's only for chartered accountants?
Yes, which is regulating the commerce sector. We also need to implement that for all other causes, and we also need to subsidize the youth. And the EFF has made it clear that the country is going nowhere without industrialization. We need to subsidize the existing special economic zones, areas that has potential of growing the economy. We have Kruger, we have Inkomazi, we have many special economic zones, which are now contributing less than 1% in the country's GDP, while the ANC government is pushing this agenda of subsidizing the multinational corporation, while our youth remain unskilled. While our youth, in South Africa, we're now experiencing a situation whereby we're having doctors that are unemployed. How can you explain that? A country, undeveloped country, having an unemployed doctor? which the country is saying that South Africa is scarce in terms of doctors?
You know, the first thing that we need to address, it is to say that the South African government, which is the ANC government, by the way, has been doing very much in terms of subsidizing the ITZs and also the metros. You would have to look carefully in the investment that you've been able to bring in this ITZ. Look at Ikucha Mzekelo. If you look at Ikucha, through the ANC government, we've been able to pull investors to ensure that we're able to mockers are produced around there by Ikucha, and that shows you the kind of dedication the ANC government is having towards those ITZs like the Kucha. You would find that currently, as we're currently standing, the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, has been able to ensure that we get more funding and investment to ensure that more cars are getting assembled in Port Elizabeth. And that shows the dedication of the ANC. It is as simple as that. Now, to address the issue of doctors not getting jobs, right? Now, there are things that we have to actually look deeply into the sector. There is a lack of jobs, right? Which means there's a lack of jobs in terms of doctors, even though we are in need of doctors. And the reason for that, it is because there are no vacancies for jobs, for doctors, and that is what now the ANC is currently planning on focusing into the next 5 years. We've set the first 5 years, whereby it was to clean the mess that was created through the 5th administration. Now going to the 6th, we're just done with the 6th administration. We're going to the 7th one. Now going to the 7th administration, we're actually planning on creating even more jobs, which means that more doctors are going to get employed, and it is going to be through the South African National Defence Force, because that is where we need to focus on. That is where jobs are going to be created. Thank you so much.
He's acknowledging that the ANC government is only subsidizing the multinational corporation, companies like BMW, Volkswagen, which are contributing less than 1% of the gross domestic products of our country. But if we can divert from that and subsidize our people domestically, our people have skills. Our people, if we have a company like Denel, state-owned company, which is able to produce fighter jet. So it won't be something difficult to develop something that is an automotive in South Africa. So, but our government doesn't have confidence in our people due to this neoliberal agenda that has been implemented by the President Ramaphosa.
There's no such a thing as that we are not investing in our people. I know a lot of people who are owning businesses, and those businesses have actually been funded.
I'm not talking about enterprises here. I'm talking about entities, companies like that are making billions, like Volkswagen every year.
Now, I'm not sure which black businesses that is making billions. That you know.
Which one?
That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, that's just a proof that you are not subsidizing our people to that extent that they can even make an entity that can generate such income.
No. There's a mistake you're making, right? So, we need to understand something. One needs to be able to pitch a business idea. And in you pitching that business idea, we then see, is it going to actually yield to any profit for the country? And then if it's going to give us any profit, then the state is more than willing to do so. As we're currently standing, the Department of Department of Minerals and Mineral Resources, the Department of Mineral Resources has been able to ensure that it is assisting young miners to ensure that we're getting people into mining, young people are getting into mining. And through the SAIEC, they've been able to ensure that there's a fund that is going to be there to assist those aspiring young miners to actually get subsidies from the government. And it's one of the few things that the ANC government is doing. But it's not that you wouldn't know about it, because you are more focused on the things that the ANC government has failed on, and you are not going to,
One of the greatest Marxist-Leninists from Guinea-Bissau, Amilcar Cabral, said a revolutionary should never claim any minor victory and call them himself a revolutionary. What we are seeing in South Africa is the ANC government wanting us to celebrate all these petty things that has moved the country to somewhere. Many economics will agree with me that if we want to resolve all these challenges that we are facing in South Africa, we need to double our current revenue 10 times more, so that we can resolve all these issues. And how we can resolve these issues when the private sector is making much more revenue than the state itself?
I addressed the thing of the state making more revenues and making more money. The state is producing public goods and services. and public goods and services are for the consumption of the community of South Africans. There's no profit that you get from that. So whatever the profit that the state can make, it still has to redirect it to ensure that it produces public goods and services. And that is why the state really cannot make that much profit in South Africa, because United is not profit maximized. Thank you. Thank you so much for the question. So basically, the first thing we need to understand in South Africa is that a lot of young people, the majority of the youth, is involved in the informal sector, right? So that is why I'm not going to get the correct statistics on how many on the youth participation in terms of entrepreneurship. But more than anything, we as the ANC, we are more focused on encouraging the youth through using the SETAs, meaning that we're going to be funding them more to ensure that they're actually able to start their own businesses and be entrepreneurs, but also you're going to be able to do it through the NADA. And those are the businesses that are actually there to fund young people. Those are the state enterprises that are there to fund young people.
Okay. At first, we need to resolve the base, which is our education. Our education has to provide entrepreneurial skills. So we need to also exercise the current existing agencies to look for entrepreneurs that are already existing and performing well, and uplift those entrepreneurs. As we all know that entrepreneurship also is a form of job creation. So by exercising the existing agencies, we'll also keep this issue of unemployment.
It is a very tough question that you're asking, but I believe it's more important that we actually get those people to get the skills that are required by the market, by the job market, because there is no point where if the skills market doesn't allow them to be absorbed, there is really nothing far you can do. It's like I don't know how to put it. It's like having to say that you are having more doctors than the required number of doctors that you can have. There is really nothing that you can do. Instead, you find yourself in a situation whereby you are then having useless people that are not even supposed to work. So the best thing it is to actually take those people and actually get them to be equipped to be the right people for the job market. I think that's the best solution for the economy.
I'm failing to identify the sector that is lacking personnel. Like even they are saying the teachers are no longer the teaching, what do you call it? Teaching profession is no longer labor absorptive, while in Eastern Cape we still have learners who are traveling like almost 5 kilometers to school. We still need to build schools that are closer than to the residences where our children are staying. It is impractical for a country that is undeveloped like South Africa to saying that we have enough personnel on this occupation. We still need doctors. We still need, like for instance, the same social state I've been making reference of. It says in the ratio, it says there's one doctor per every 150 people in Cuba. Cuba, there are almost 23 medical schools that are offering the medical profession. So it's impractical for us to say that we have enough personnel on these occupations. So there is nothing like that.